So I decided to do the hard side first without talking. Oh, it's gonna be easy, I can talk this wrong side. So what I want to talk about is, well, usually I want to talk about yoga. And this has been on my mind for a long time now. And Darko, Darko, nie ma ciebie Boga. Co cię tam there are many things about yoga that people misinterpret or maybe kind of turn on their own mill and then switch it upside down. They create something that is not yoga and then they call it yoga. Nobody has a copyright to the name of yoga, so you're free to call whatever you invent yoga, although who knows what it is. Let me first maybe clear it up so that I make it clear what yoga is for me. Yoga for me is not doing asanas. This is just one part of yoga that you may choose to do. Because it is a part of Raj Yoga, and you might not want to do or live the Raj Yoga. You might want to do the Karma Yoga, for example, or Bhakti Yoga, which is devotion and praying. You don't have to do the asanas and pranayamas then. It is because of the modern sort of sports and fitness trends that the asanas have become more popular. And this has been perceived as the yoga. But yoga is actually the unity. Yoga is the state of mind, body, soul, whatever you might call it, that we find ourselves in with different practices, habits, etc. So you may want to, for example, knit, and you may perhaps reach the state of yoga. And this is where the dharana and the dhyana, the meditation and the concentration and the meditation where they come to make sense within the Raj Yoga. The Raj Yoga is the yoga for the kings that don't need to do anything. They can sit around and just think and wait until the self-realization comes to them. They don't have to fight wars, they don't have to earn money for their families. They already have all the material things, and then they just need to think about the spiritual. But people who are not in the same position, they don't have to think that they should sit for 8 hours in the meditation state. This is not the only way to achieve. We can call it the peace of mind, the mindless state. The state where the mind is not preoccupied with chatter. The monkey is in the brain. It is the samadhi, the bliss. Where you realize that you don't realize anything. It is the state of the lack of ideas. No thoughts, no ideas. So that's why I have a problem with the mindfulness in general, but that's probably another video. What I wanted to mention today is the difference between doing yoga and practicing yoga. So if you think that the asanas are yogas, then of course you are practicing it, I suppose. If you think that the whole system of hatha yoga, for example, or the 8 limbs of yoga, then you are doing the yoga. It means that you are living by the principles of the yamas and niyamas, and you are practicing your daily asanas and pranayamas and the dharanas and dhyanas. So you are kind of and pratyaharas, of course. You have a methodology that you follow in order to reach some kind of state on a physical level as well as the subtle level. But if you say that you live yoga, then you probably have reached this state and you feel that even the food and the animals and the people you surround yourself with, they are all a part of your yoga, a part of this realm of feeling one with everything and everybody. Then people might say that you're going towards yoga. This is okay and not, because yoga is some kind of a, you can say, a goal, but it's not the metaphor of being on a journey is fine, but it's a little bit misleading, because then it makes you think that yoga is somewhere else. It is some kind of external there is a path, right? They call them 4 paths of yoga, but yoga is not an external location where you have to come. It is simply your own internal situation that needs to be transmuted and metamorphosized in order for you to start feeling the yoga, so to speak, to experience the yoga, although once you experience it, there is no experience. Now that's the changing the yarns. That's of course the difficulty to explain the state of not having ideas with ideas. It's just it's something that needs to be experienced, lived, and then understood without the brain faculties. So I'm not gonna try and reinvent the wheel. I think that Ramana Maharishi actually explains everything very easily and accessibly. I think that what led people to believe that yoga is some kind of a discipline. There is the layer of discipline in yoga, but that's not it. People, I like when people have the competitions, yoga competitions. I mean, they're actually competing about the yoga asanas, who can make the best asana, but they don't compete about knowing about asanas. They don't compete about, oh, do you know who is this asana for? What is it for? Can you explain it to the people why they should do it or why they shouldn't do it? I think that's more important than having a perfect asana and then taking a picture or making videos with it. It just creates a little bit of discrepancy between the people who are teachers or advanced yogis and those who would like to start. But when they see that, you know, oh, you have to put your body in this position and then turn it and twist it and I don't know what, then they feel like they can't do it and they will never be able to do it, so they just don't. So the marketing of these yoga asanas actually, I think, sometimes do the opposite effect, have the opposite effect of what they intend to, that they want to promote yoga. But by promoting the asanas and showing people imperfect or even more than perfect postures, just makes it so inaccessible and so daunting for the people who might have some physical issues. Maybe they are not in their 20s or teenagers, so they don't have the flexibility or even mobility in their joints to perform literally what they see on posters or videos. Okay, I got to the end of my row. That's it. Doing yoga, practicing yoga, living yoga, being in yoga. Think about what is the right way of presenting it and thinking about it. There's not just one way, of course, there are many ways. So if you see somebody doing dog yoga, Don't think that this is yoga. If you see somebody doing goat yoga, cat yoga, beer yoga, naked yoga, hot yoga, whatever, these are just the styles that somebody thought of just to make it a little bit more marketable and interesting, and to make them separate, their business separate from the rest. While this might be an interesting thing to participate in, don't think that this is yoga. Don't think that this will lead you to samadhi. It's just a distraction from the real thing. See you in the next video.